Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Royalty Podcast. As you guys know, we are recapping The Amazing Race this season. I'm here with my sister Simone.
Hi.
And today we are joined by two very special people, our favorite Texans, Team Blue, and they were just eliminated this week, so they are here to talk about their experience on The Amazing Race. I know, spoiler alert, in case you didn't know, Kat and Alex, but we are so honored to have you guys here and to get into the weeds of your experience because we also didn't see a whole lot of one another on the race, and so I feel like we've kind of gotten close after the fact. And you guys just was that Miss Texie? That's Miss Texie.
You just found out, spoiler.
Is that Miss Texie barking?
Yes. Do you want to meet her?
Yes.
Sure.
Yes. Can you bring her?
Yeah, you know what's crazy that we didn't really get to
Real
we
life.
didn't talk to each other on the last leg. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Alex, I don't think I got to talk to you at all.
No, we didn't talk. Hello, Hannah.
No.
Actually, this is our first time talking.
It's so nice to meet you. Hi, Miss Texie.
Sexy.
Oh my gosh, our star.
Her because me and Alex wore Miss Texie buttons on our backpack.
Yes.
So I'm about to put it in Miss Texie's bio that she was on The Amazing Race as well.
Honestly,
Oh.
yes.
Love it. Love it. Love
She
it.
saw the world.
Hated that because it was flopping on the mics, and they were like, "Yo, we need to tape that down or something." I'm like,
Wait, did you guys get Miss Texie together, or is Miss Texie Alex's dog, Kat's dog together?
"She's only my daughter."
Oh.
I put my heart and soul into this dog. I do anything for her. I sacrifice myself for her on a daily basis. She's obsessed with Alex. Obsessed. And I feel like that's how a lot of things in my life are. Like, I feel like on the show, I brought Alex on, and everyone's obsessed with Alex. And I'm like, wait,
It's because Alex was, I mean, both of you guys were meant to be on reality TV, but I really just need Alex to be on every reality show ever. He's so funny to us.
and he's been thriving in this whole reality TV world.
Oh, yes.
We went on Julie Chen's podcast, God 101, and she followed him on
Yeah.
Instagram
That was
after.
crazy.
Yes, I saw. I was like,
Follow.
Yeah.
I didn't even have a phone, so when I logged into my stuff, I was like, "Whoa!" I was like, "This is crazy."
Yes, so Alex's
Wow.
big brother, his big brother did.
She did ask me to go. I was like, "I don't think so."
Okay.
Alex, I think you would do well on a show like Big Brother.
I would.
I actually don't think you would. I think
Wow.
okay,
You don't
no,
think
no,
so?
no,
Things continue in
no,
every
I mean,
episode.
no,
I
okay.
can do better than him. I
But the reason why I think he would be great. Like I think he would run the house, but I think he would hate being stuck in
Yes.
a house for
3 months.
that long.
There's
Like,
no way.
he would lose his mind. Him
I
crashing
don't
into
know.
life.
I don't know. Like, Kat, your cast was a little less than favorable, and so I think anyone would hate being stuck in that house for more than like 3 days. But I think if you stick Alex with a cast that he gets along with and enjoys, I feel like Alex would thrive in a summer camp type environment.
I love to hang out with
I
y'all.
like to see it. We're gonna have to see it.
Yes. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, TAR 38 takes Big Brother 28.
Yeah, it's
Honestly,
crossover.
It would be such a fun season.
Ooh, Kat and Alex, who do you think would win?
I thought it would just be fun for like us, but I think that
Yeah.
Who would I evict?
No. Who? Okay, actually, no. That's a good question. Kat and Alex, if we had to play in pairs, who would you guys evict first? Like, who would you be targeting, and who do you think would win the season?
Jack and Jazz right now.
No,
Jazz,
no.
Tucker, the comp beasts, all those people. Get them
no.
out.
But no. But comps are a lot more equitable now than they were back when like Jack and Jazz played. They're not as physical. Big Brother is a social game. It's a strategic game. Who do you think wins? I think it might be an all-female team that wins.
Probably, actually.
Like, so not Canada.
Y'all might win.
Hold on.
Honestly,
Unfortunately,
'cause I wouldn't target y'all.
We might have to evict you.
No, not us.
We wouldn't evict you guys.
honestly, y'all.
Final
are-
four.
You said what?
Y'all are too nice. Like, I would never
Yeah,
target
I
y'all.
would
That's the
never target
problem.
Yeah, so which means y'all would probably win.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. You said what?
We lost already. We haven't even started. Damn.
Okay, who would you guys target first? Honestly, no, I think Enzo and Jack would win.
I
It's
think
so funny.
too.
Enzo's track record of Big Brother is really good.
Yeah.
Like he
Absolutely.
is. I mean, he had only placed like second,
Yeah.
and I don't want to
Second and third.
Didn't he also?
crazy.
But didn't he also get like second and third place on the challenge or something like that? Like it's kind of
Yeah,
crazy.
Enzo.
This Amazing Race cast was absolutely stacked. Like I feel like
Yes.
every single person that was on this season was so competitive, and I feel like the edit is doing a great job showing everyone. However, I feel like it's not capturing like the true like competitive drive that everyone had when we were racing. Like I remember being so competitive. Like
I feel like that's why it's so emotional too.
Yeah,
Honestly, like, it's so emotional because the competitive just came out and it's just racing and racing. So when you're either losing or winning, I mean, it's all the emotions come out.
For sure. And I mean, you're doing it like you're not just responsible for yourself. It's you and a loved one. And I feel like as human beings, we're almost more protective over our loved ones than ourselves. And so when you add that into the equation, yeah, Simone. But when you add that into the equation, it really is just like a cocktail of strong emotions. And I want to get into the strong emotions that you guys showed throughout the season. I think your love for one another was really apparent. I loved watching your guys' dynamic. Again, you guys were actually carrying. Like, you were.
100%.
Yeah.
the
So-
last 15 minutes of the show was all us. Actually,
Yeah.
they count the post who has the most confessionals on each episode, and Alex had the most confessionals on the third episode. And I was like, Alex is a star. He's a
I
star.
had a lot to confess.
Hey, wait, you Enzo getting so close to the camera, like, and then you.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, Alex, you guys both obviously have the personality for it, which no surprise there. And okay, also this is so random, but it popped up on my YouTube. I think it was Will and James's interview. Shout out to Will and James if you're listening. We love them. They're our faves. And I wish like they showed this in the confessional. Was Alex was talking about the taxi cab situation and how you were like, the only way that I could get a taxi is if I stepped into the middle of the road and I was like, stop for me. And then he was like, no, I have to go somewhere. And then Alex was like, no, you don't now. So I was like, they should have put that in the confessionals.
The guy had a ride. Like, he had it on his phone. Like, it was like one of those, like, and I was like, I'm sorry. I was like, and I just jumped in. I was like, you gotta take us. And he canceled his ride to take us.
Oh my gosh. Wait, this was in Hungary, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
So I was
Okay,
like,
well, something else that I have to say is, Kat, I knew you were funny from Big Brother, but you are very witty.
Yes, you guys are both so quick.
Yes, which is a sign of intelligence. Like, the wittiest people are the most intelligent people.
Yeah.
So,
she's crazy.
yeah, like,
guys
like
know
your one-liners.
Well, thank you. I actually don't think I was that funny on The Amazing Race. When I left, not that I like try to be funny, but like I remember like when I left The Amazing Race, I was like, I don't think I was funny once.
Yeah.
And so I'm actually surprised that there shows
Yeah.
me being like as they're putting me in little funny situations. I'm really appreciative
Yeah.
of the edit that they gave me because they had so many different personalities to work with. They could have made me look like an absolute nightmare. They could have made me look horrible. Like
She was worried. She's like, Alex, I don't think I was funny at all. And I was like, Kat, you're funny. Like, why
No,
did you think
I
that? She's like, I wasn't funny. I was stressed out.
So tunnel vision, so stressed. The camera's in my face, and I see the camera in my face, and I know that it's recording me. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I don't even care. I just am focusing on surviving at this point. So,
Yes.
so I was like, oh, actually, I feel like they did the best with me that they could on the edit.
Yeah. No, but you said what? It could have been worse. Yeah, Simone and I were just talking about when we were watching episode 4, we were like, it's kind of a bummer that they aren't showing any of our moments where we were smiling or laughing with one another, and instead they're only showing our moments where we're stressed out and like super focused and being ultra competitive. Because we do, like, if you guys know us outside of the race, you know that we have a very sweet dynamic. Like, we never fight, we never argue. We're always like, awesome, go Simone, go Hannah Banana. You said what?
Y'all are literally the sweetest people I know. Like, even
Aww.
Budapest. While I'm talking to Simone, I'm literally talking to her, and I'm like, Oh my gosh, this is the nicest person I've ever met.
No. Well, we could totally get into that, but that was literally like one of my favorite memories of that experience was outside. Alex was just so kind and was literally trying to like cheer me up. I was being I was like definitely getting in my head, but we were talking about like pro cheer, which speaking of Kat, and then we were just like making up like cheers, and then I was trying to cheer in the line, and then Alex was like, "Go, go, go!" So that was just so fun and just such a great memory.
Okay,
there was
well,
a lot of really great memories that didn't make
Yeah,
I know. None of the fun stuff. It's just us all being stressed. But
we love the editors though. Shout out to the Amazing Race team.
yes, no, please bring us back for season 40. We mean no harm.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get into this leg for you guys. How are you guys feeling after leg 3 when you guys get to the train station and you find out that your train is only 1 hour behind ours? Can you just kind of walk us through everything that you experienced?
Well, when we left the hotel that morning, I was.
Wait, no. For Prague? Like when we left Prague, right?
Yeah, I'm
That was
sorry.
like
So
eight.
sorry.
Okay, I wasn't. By the way, I wasn't in the morning. It was the dark.
Yeah. When I woke up in the morning.
We almost didn't make that train, actually.
Yeah, we were.
Wait, what?
But I remember.
No, I was just kidding. But it was like
Oh.
the train left at the train left at 10 at night, and we got out like at 8:30. I'm almost positive.
Wait.
That was like
Your
the
guys,
start.
your start time was 8:30?
Yeah, we. Oh my gosh! So I opened that night. When they were bringing us room service for dinner. I opened the door in my robe and like towel head and get my room service, and I see Taylor and Kylan leaving to start the race, and I was like, "Oh, okay."
Oh no.
I was like,
And when we left the hotel, I was talking to like the people that are sending you off, and I was like, "Is this like? Has anyone ever come back from this spot and like stayed in the race? Like, what are we really looking at as our chances here?" And they're like, "Yeah, like anything happens. Like people have gone from last to first." So I was
like, that's what we need.
Yeah, but I was still feeling like a little bit like, no, I don't know if it's gonna happen. But we had so many opportunities during the race that really shocked me that I never thought that I was gonna see everyone else at the horse stables. So it did give me hope.
And hold on, speaking of the train though, how you're saying like we actually didn't know who was gonna be on our train because we didn't know if Taylor and Kylan somehow got on the other one or not. Mm-hmm. So technically it's just us walking around. Mm-hmm. Like we're literally just walking around aimlessly through the train station. We're like, okay, we got about like an hour and a half. Like let's do what we need to do for now, get some info, all this kind of stuff. And then all of a sudden we see actually Rubina and Christine. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh, I haven't seen them since the first leg.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's going on? And then they're like, oh, we actually took this train instead of the other one, which I was shocked about. Because, I mean, I'm going to risk it. If I had the chance, I would have risked it for sure. Oh, no, the light. Alexa, well,
sorry,
hello,
we're
we're back.
technical difficulties?
No.
Or like just
but I was in shock that happened. And then we saw Taylor and Kylan, and then we all got together. And then we found Chelsea and Jack.
How did we run into Chelsea?
Because Rubina said, hey, we saw Jack and Chelsea in the train station. So we're all out there literally since we have an hour and a half trying to find them. We're like, yeah, let's go scare them. Let's go find them. Surprise, we're back.
But something that we didn't think about that would have been a great idea to do. So we didn't see Taylor and Kylan the whole time because they had found a lounge and they were in there printing off directions of where to go when they arrive at their destination. And that's something that I was like, I didn't even know that they had lounges at the train station. So that was really strategic on their end. And then, of course, when we were on the train, it was so much. We found that group of people that were helping us with their phones and helping us get the directions and everything. Yeah. So, I don't know. It was really interesting to see, like, everyone's different approach to how they were, like, handling
once
their
I saw 2 other teams, I was just excited. I was like, okay.
For sure.
There's slight slimmer of hope, and that just made me feel good because at the end, I mean, it does stink because we're all just getting eliminated one by one. And it sucks because you build such close friendships with them, because those are the only teams we've talked to, the only teams we've seen. So we know like the next leg, they're not going to be there. And that does stink. So down the line, we're also like, we're kind of next. It's either between us or Taylor and Kylan.
But we knew
So
well,
I was like, this
we
is
knew
about
that
to be.
We knew it wasn't really ever us between Taylor and Kylan, because Taylor and Kylan had the express pass. So we knew that we were especially in an uphill battle, because if we had to pass Taylor and Kylan, but like they would just pass us the express pass. Yeah. So we really had to pass them plus another team.
Exactly. Okay, so when you guys found out that Rubina and Christine were there and Chelsea and Jack were there, at that point, were you guys thinking, okay, the 4 teams need to get together and strategize on how to beat the teams in front of us? Or were you kind of...
No, we hit that end zone. We said, nah!
Okay, so then...
When we saw them...
Shoot, that...
No, so when we saw them, we never really thought about working... we never really thought about working with Rubina or Chelsea, just because we already had our alliance going with Taylor and Kylan, and we knew that, and we already knew that Taylor and Kylan had the express pass, so it did, like, we had to beat them, but we had to beat another team, so we really weren't trying to put any more people in our alliance.
We also figured they were working together. I mean, they were on the same season too, so I'm also like, they're probably together. While we're on the train, they're like sleeping in the same bunk beds. So I'm like, okay. So Taylor and Kylan are sleeping in our bunk beds too, because we're like, it pretty much showed 2 different teams there, and you could tell it was kind of like a stressful night for them. We were happy. We were just happy to see any other team. You could tell like they were like, dang, like they caught up to us.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
That was the stressful part about it, and for us too, like that was our first time really talking to them. So like it was in a competitive setting when you're, somebody catches up, you're also like, like, hey, good to see you, but you're also like, oh dang, like you got to turn it on again because now the back has caught up to you.
Yes. And I think that's super, super smart. Obviously, to their face, you want to make it seem like, oh, Rubina, Christine, Chelsea, Jack.
Yes.
In the same regard, I don't think that they had any interest in working with us. Like, I think that it was just a reality check of, okay, there's teams here now, which was great for us, not as good for them because they hadn't seen us. And I don't think that they had any interest.
It was more like it's just that's how the back works. That's literally how the back works. You really can't hope too much just because you're literally on your fight for survival. And we learned that through the first 3 legs. Like, we see alliances, but you can only go so far in an alliance that's in the back. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, and it's when it's like y'all can't help each other and make it like, what are you going to do? Walk into the finish line together? You'll probably lose.
Okay, so my question. No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Like we each, we're like to our own, but like we still respected each other. But we're like, also in their head, in my head, I'm like, they're probably thinking, we're in the back now. Like now we are going to struggle to get through this too. So, which I mean makes sense. I mean that's where we were at the entire time.
Something that I'm really curious about is how did you guys feel like your odds kind of stacked up against that new, pack of 4? So, I mean, Taylor and Kylan had the express pass, but once you saw like, okay, Rubina and Christine are here, Chelsea and Jack are here, were you guys like, okay, we might very well still be in this, or were you thinking they've beat us before, they can beat us again?
Well, I don't know, because The Amazing Race, I mean, just like Big Brother, The Amazing Race, like you never know with the different, whatever competitions, whatever you're about to face. So, I mean, in my head, I'm like, I know what we bring to the table, but I also know that they bring really great things to the table as well. So it really depends on what the roadblock's going to be whenever we get there. And so I know that you can't really like size people up based on what you know about them from Big Brother.
I was sizing everybody up.
Because this is a different scenario, and you just never know how good
I got a whole different answer.
People are gonna be.
I was like, so to me, so what I did was I was comparing us to Taylor and Kylan. We were running like neck and neck with them for like the first couple of legs. So I was like, I felt good. I was like, if I can keep up with them, I know they're a top tier team. You know what I mean? For me, like physically and everything like that, I'm like, if we can keep up with them, we can do better later on too. Like I feel it. Like if we have more teams, I feel like if we can keep up with them, we can maybe pass other teams. So I felt good just seeing anyone else, because if not, we are literally just fighting Taylor and Kylan, which to me is a lot harder than fighting a lot of other people. Mm-hmm. So that was the tough part. And so when I saw that, I'm like, I just feel good to have any other team at this point that I get to race against and have a shot at like making it to the next leg.
Absolutely. Okay, so you guys are on this train. You're sharing a bunk with, or not a bunk, but you're sharing like a little car with Taylor and Kylan. Rubina and Chelsea are together. What did you guys do on this train? Were you guys strategizing amongst yourselves? Were you sleeping?
We slept.
Okay.
It was the worst sleep of my life.
It was a horrible sleep. But we
Really?
didn't
Every time you went on the train, like the lights would just still stay on, like on the other side, like not the inside. So we were putting like our like little like things on our neck, like on my head. I literally couldn't sleep. If I slept for like 20, 30 minutes. It was like sleeping on the ground. Those beds were not comfortable at all.
Oh, like, no.
My back was hurting. I was like, yo, this is I'd rather not sleep at this point.
What about you, Alex? Oh, sorry. Or I'm sorry, Kat. What about you, Kat?
No, it definitely wasn't a good sleep. And we had so much trauma from the trains before where they just didn't show up. So I remember the train wasn't moving at night. And I don't know if that's like a normal thing for trains, but it's like, I remember just being like, why is the train stopped? Why are we not moving? We haven't moved for 4 hours. Why are we not moving? So I think it's just like the anxiety was also keeping me up. So we definitely weren't well rested when we arrived. But it was nice having like the place that you could relax. You were like, we were horizontal. We weren't having to like stay in a chair or anything. And then there was food in the morning. So that was good.
But, which is so nice. And so hypothetically,
food, though. I mean, don't be.
No. Oh no. Well, hypothetically, if you both had the chance to either take the 3-stop connection train route and get there an hour earlier, or you had the option to take the train that you did, which one would you guys choose?
Yes, I would have for sure have gone with the 1-hour train.
I would have gone with the one that got there.
It's so competitive. I mean, 10 minutes is a huge advantage on this this race. So an hour, I'm like, oh yeah, 100%, 100%.
Yes. Something, and I love the fact that you bring up how even 10 minutes matters, because the purpose of this podcast is to get your guys' perspective, but we also enjoy sharing our own perspective because there's so much that they don't show. So essentially what happened is at one of the stops, I think the 6 teams got out. We were waiting for our transfer, and Simone and I recognized that there was an option that would get us to Budapest maybe 15 minutes faster. And so we were like, we pulled aside Joseph and Adam, and we pulled aside Nat and Steph and Jag and Jazz, because on TV, it's like they're really highlighting this train wreck alliance. And of course, that was a thing. But Simone and I definitely felt like those 3 teams had our backs. And so we wanted to work with them. And then eventually we were like, okay, we feel bad. Like, we can't just leave out Tucker and Eric. We can't just leave out Izzy and Paige. But
no man left behind.
But also, like, we knew we still had a little bit of cushion. So we were like, if we just leave without saying anything to Tucker and Izzy, what if they U-turn us? So we just ended up telling everyone. Yeah. And Izzy and Paige were like, no, we're going to stick to our original plan. And we were like, okay, we'll get there 15 minutes before you. But like 15 minutes matters.
Yeah. And so we did.
Yeah. And so we ended up like going with the new route with 5 teams. That's why Izzy and Paige got to the bathhouse a couple minutes after we did. But of course that didn't make the edit because that was so minor. But like in our case, when we ended up, I guess, dropping all the way to last place, like the 15 minutes did make a difference in our game. So
100%.
Yeah. Thing that I feel like doesn't really get captured on the show is it doesn't really come down to like one thing that you did. It's like the accumulation of everything. So like in our case, it wasn't necessarily the dance. It was the dance and then the taxi and then the horse carriages and then all of the other things that, add up. So a 15-minute buffer, like, that makes a huge difference that, you don't really think about until you're actually in the situation. You're like, oh man, like I could have, like if I was 15 minutes later, then I could have gotten eliminated.
Exactly. Okay, so you guys get off this train, you're at the bathhouse. What's interesting, because remember that train stop was like right across the street from the bathhouse. And so we saw you guys.
I think
I
our
actually
train.
don't remember
I think
that.
our train was not,
Yeah.
and we had to like get a bus and then a
Yeah.
train to go. So ours was like in a whole different area.
Oh, wait,
Interesting.
So
that's
once we got out of the train stop, we had to go up to the streets, take a metro.
Yeah.
From the metro, we took a train station underground that then took us to where we needed to go, which was like 2 stops later on after the metro, and then we got out.
oh, okay.
That was kind of like with ours, I think.
Yeah, okay, yeah. No, that was the same thing with ours too, but we didn't take a bus. We just had to take
Oh,
a train.
No, actually, I think you know what happened. I think we got on the bus and then we realized, yo, this is not because we're all together at that point, and we're like, hey, let's just get to the bathhouse, and then from there, everybody does what they need to do.
Rubina and Christine were doing their own thing. I don't know if you remember, but they were. Cause I remember I saw them on their own. Like they were in their own little like part of the bus, and I was like, they're not interested. They have their own tunnel vision going on, and they are going to get there on their own accord. Which I mean, that's what you have to do when you're at the back of the pack.
Yeah, you literally just got to be by yourself at that point and figure it out. So.
Yes. Okay, so you guys take a bus, but then you get off the bus, and then you take a train. You get off the train. Anyway, you run. You run.
I remember that was funny.
No. Go, Alex.
No. Yeah. So we get out from the train, and so this is actually kind of crazy. So this is kind of when it hit harder for us. When we got out of the metro and we're running towards the bathhouse, we see Natalie, Steph, Joseph, and Adam. Were y'all with them?
Yeah, we were there too, but it never makes the show.
Yeah.
Just running across, like we crossed past, and I'm like, oh my, like we're pretty decently close. I'm like, we're not, whatever it is, we're at least probably just like 20, 30 minutes now at this point. And I just remember trying to like hug some of y'all, and I'm like, okay, bye. I was just like, bye. I was like,
Yes.
that made me happy though, at least seeing other teams.
Yes, and I remember we were terrified because we were like, they're here. but okay, so you guys,
We were happy to see like each of the teams visually, like to see them, but like race wise, we knew like, oh, okay, like the lead we had is like that much closer. So we did take a little breath, like, oh, that means game on.
Yeah.
Spaces, but honestly, like, there's nothing. I mean, that's how we would be if we were towards the front and then we saw other teams.
Oh yeah,
that's just like a natural thing.
Fucking crashing out.
Right.
Kat would have been like, we gotta go faster.
Yes. No, it was absolutely nothing personal at all. I feel like we all understand that. It was more so just along the lines of, okay, now there's no room for like stopping for ice cream and French fries because we know we have that much of a lead. Like, we actually have to race now.
Yeah.
And so you guys get up to the ice bath. Something that they didn't show is each team had to be on lockdown for 30 minutes and wait in the line. And you guys probably didn't know that when you were running up to it. So we were like, okay, this means we have maybe an hour on them. We really have to go. But what was your experience like in the bathhouse? Were you trying to, like, would you go back to that bathhouse? I don't know. There was a lot of...
Honestly, maybe, just to, like, relax, but, I mean...
Would you?
Not to play chess. I mean, I was like, y'all playing chess just shirtless out here, like, chilling, like, I don't know, but we only got to see that pool because we figured out eventually that is, like, the king. I played chess, so I was like, Kat, it's definitely one of those chess pieces out there. I was like, I don't know which one. I'm like, but it's one of those, so... right from the start, I jumped into the first one, and then I saw like another one on the side, and I jumped into that, and I saw that it was there. So I was like, okay, perfect. That was quick. That was the easiest.
You guys got it second try?
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, nice. Okay. So then did you guys end up leaving the bathhouse before Kylan, Taylor, Rubina, Christine, and Chelsea and Jack? You guys were the first team out of there?
We left the same time as Taylor and Kylan.
Okay.
There's a gap between us and the teams behind us, but I mean, I guess not like that great of a gap. But I remember when we left, we were like, we're in it, like we're ahead.
Yeah. And how how long did it take you to figure out the puzzle piece? Because we have to share our experience
Yeah.
after yours.
Right
You said
away.
right away?
Oh,
You just
shoot.
unscrewed it? Okay, so with us,
I don't
and
know.
they,
I figured that out, but it was yeah.
Well, I remember because I'm like, it's a chess piece. I'm like, I know how chess pieces are, and I just remember looking in the bottom, and I was like, okay, so there's nothing, a clue in the bottom, so I'm like, there's probably something inside, and I tried to break it, I think, but it was one of those tough things. And then was it you that unscrewed it?
I can't remember.
I just remember like we unscrewed it and we opened it, and then we saw a thing. I was like, okay, that was quick and easy. So that's why I felt good because that's where we passed a lot of teams.
yeah, no, for sure. That was, I have to give you guys credit.
Yeah.
That was hard for us because we looked on the bottom, like Tucker, Eric, Jag, and Jazz, they left probably like 10 minutes before we did.
Yeah.
So we couldn't ask them for help. But we looked at the bottom and I ended up scratching off the underside of the chess piece. And
Yeah.
it said something like titanium something. So then we went to the front desk. Wait, do you guys hear that echo? No?
Oh.
Okay, good. Sorry.
There you
So
go.
we went to the front desk of the building and we were like, are there any major titanium like factories in Budapest? And
That's so
we were doing all of this with Nat and Joseph, but the camera only made it show like those two were working together. But it was the three of us. Like, okay, are there any titanium plants in Budapest? Like, are there any buildings that are made out of titanium? You said what?
And then you show up to a titanium plant.
I know.
And then it was I think Steph who ended up unscrewing it, and we were like, okay, wait, it was so much simpler
Yeah.
than we made it out to be.
No, but we were all like, we were spitting on it and then trying to like scratch it off to make it easier. Like we were going like full force, like trying to like hack this thing off. It was so funny.
No, it was so, we definitely like big brained that, and it like all you had to do was unscrew it.
Yeah.
And so we were like, oh, we're so stupid anyway.
Yeah, because well, it finally like clicked for us. Like, there's no way that like for this they would have us like spit on something and scratch. Like that just would make no sense. For them, so we were like, we all did, kind of. Because like one of us was like, if we do it, that makes it easier to scratch off. Let's do that, and it has to be like one of those like key things where like you scratch it off and like it reveals the number. But obviously it wasn't.
Hey, at least y'all didn't like try to go put it back in the water to see if it was like something with the water.
I know.
Yes, we were gonna try that out next. But
Yeah,
Steph was
exactly.
like, wait, guys, it's just an unscrewable, and we
Yeah.
were like, okay,
Now
no,
that
that's
makes
fine.
sense.
That's fine. So anyway, sorry, go ahead.
No, that's great. Honestly, for us, I probably took us like 2 minutes to go get it,
Yeah.
go into the
We
pool,
were so fast.
pull it out, and then we went straight back up,
so good.
and then just changed.
Wow.
events.
Okay.
So that's where we had a decent lead.
Okay. And when you guys got to the fast forward, because that was just kind of across the street from where the bathhouse was, did it say the fast forward has already been claimed?
No.
But we figured. We figured.
Okay.
Just from watching previous seasons, we figured that if you're not like the first or second or one of the first teams to get there, there's really no point in doing the fast forward because you're just going to waste your time.
Yeah.
But I will say that I was
Exactly.
ready to shave my head. I was ready and willing.
Oh my gosh, like Rachel and Brendan. Or I guess how they
That'd have
didn't do it yet.
And we're still eliminated. Imagine being bald and then we still get eliminated. That would have been nuts.
Even before we left The Amazing Race, I was like gone like a TikTok rabbit hole about like realistic wigs, just in case whenever we got back, if I had a bald head.
Oh my gosh.
To win it.
We weren't playing.
Okay.
We were not around. I was just one
This
head
is-
table from winning a leg.
Someone go ahead.
I was going to say, is there something that you guys like would be a non-negotiable? Like, I'm sorry, $1 million is on the line. You guys are practically at the finish line, and they ask you to do a certain task, and you're like, I'm sorry, I can't do that.
So Alex is afraid of heights. And so a lot of people are asking me, why were you making him do all the challenges? Which I wasn't. It was
She,
still
no, she was making you guys help.
But I had already done the first two, and then he had done the next two, and then we had him do the horse race as well because we were so afraid that we were going to get down to it, and he was going to have to end up doing a height challenge. And we knew that if he had to do a height challenge, like if he had to, I don't know, if he had to walk the beam, for instance.
How dare you?
I don't think he would have done it. I think he would have passed out. Okay. He just seeing him on the tower, like he wasn't even on the beam. He was freaking out. His eyes were rolling back in his head. Because he thought that when on the clue when it said like wait in the designated area, he thought that
they were about to dangle me.
He thought that they were about to dangle him in the air.
What?
He was like, his arms were flailing around, like he was so afraid. And after seeing that, I was like, we cannot chance him doing a height challenge.
I literally was blacking out, and I just remember Elise coming up and being like, "What's wrong with him?" And then he's afraid of heights.
Wait, imagine the designated area being you dangling over the side of the building.
They did that on a season. There was a season where the designated area was they were like suspended in the air while the other people were doing something. Like there was a reason why we thought that. But,
okay.
But after seeing him in that element, I was like, oh, if there is any sort of height anything in sight when we see the clue, I'm gonna have to do it.
I would have done it. I probably would have passed out, to be honest. I'm like terrified.
He would have gotten it done. We would have been dangling in his but like I don't know. And then there's some things that I feel like I would draw the line at. I don't know. I'll do anything for TV, but if I had to eat like live worms, I don't know. I might be like a little disgusted about it. So there's definitely things that you draw the line.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, Simone, is there anything that you wouldn't do if it meant that we could stay another leg?
I think that I would have mustered up the courage to do anything, but I will say, and they would never make us do this, of course, I have like this really deep phobia of like caves. But not just like any cave, but like really, really like tight caves where like you have to like crawl through. Wait, super random story, but this is where this phobia comes from. Do you guys know that story with that guy who got lodged in a cave? Yes, and he literally like passed like in a handstand because it was too tight. Mm-hmm. From that moment on, I heard about that story. I was like,
probably next season they're gonna have it. Like
no, literally, they're getting ideas.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so if it was like any like crawling through like super like tight spaces, and I don't consider myself to be claustrophobic, but something with just like caves and it's dark, I think that I would I would definitely consider tapping out.
Only we had caves instead of dancing. Damn it!
I know. You guys would have lapped us for sure.
I don't think there's anything that I wouldn't do for a million. I'm trying to think.
Would you scuba dive?
Yeah.
I'm also kind of scared of like the deep water.
Okay. Pretty much just like you said you too. So you're scared of being up in the air and being under the sea.
Claustrophobic, so like anything like that, like I get anxiety like sometimes being on an elevator because I'm like, what if it gets stuck and I'm stuck here?
Yes. Oh yeah, that literally just happened to me like a couple weeks ago. Oh wait, yeah, you guys know that. Wait, no, because you guys were at the Survivor party.
That's very realistic. This is a very realistic fear.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I don't think there's anything I wouldn't do. But it sounds like you're just maybe scared of any scenario where you may potentially not be able to get out.
Yeah, like even like it's something as small as like if they were to put us in a tanning bed, which I've never needed to go to a tanning bed before. I'll be so honest.
No, why would they put us in a tanning bed?
Yes, but I'm like even just like the thought of like
wait, you guys are talking at the same time.
Sorry.
And so it's not going to pick up. Wait, I'm sorry. What were you saying, Simone?
Oh, so sorry, guys. I was saying, like, even, like, the thought of, like, rays being, like, so close to my face. And, like...
What were you saying, Kat and Alex?
No, that's just funny.
Can you imagine going out on a tanning bed?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, that one we would have been in and out of there for sure. It was like, you have to be this tan. Like, sit in here for as long as it takes.
Stop. Simone and I would have gotten the fast forward.
Yes.
I have a question for y'all because they've done this on other episodes of like using the the fast forward and stuff. would y'all have shaved your heads, and then would y'all have gotten a tattoo? That was one of the
Tattoo.
times I've done it before.
I would shave my head.
Yeah.
I wouldn't get a tattoo. Like, do you mean a semi-permanent tattoo or a permanent tattoo?
And, like,
It
also, what was the
tattoo.
That's I would
what
get
was
a
the
tattoo.
tattoo?
It was the son
Like a dragon?
of grandpa that had to do it, but it was like a letter, and it was
It was
FF, and they're like, "What's it stand for?" They're like,
Oh,
fast
fast
forward.
forward.
TAR.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
Wait, like you could choose between the two, or are you?
No,
Oh,
just FF. They had to get FF for the fast forward
Yeah.
because that's what it was called.
Yeah.
That's what it was. And the guy was like, "What's it stand for?" It's like fast forward.
I would do that in a heartbeat for sure, especially because if it was something like a fire breathing dragon, like a sleeve, I don't know if I would do that, but I feel like an FF, like that's like a commemoration of like the race, and I feel like every time I look at it I would always think like, aw, like that's a good memory to have. And then shaving my head, yeah, I would do that in a heartbeat.
Immediately. But I would have done it. Like, I would have gotten a tattoo for sure.
Hold on.
Okay.
So I'm saying if you get it like a sleeve, that would even be a longer sleeve. I'm done.
No,
Okay,
that's true.
I think for me, like if we're at that point in the race when there are still 10 teams left, then no, I'm not getting a tattoo. I don't have any tattoos. I would want if I do get a tattoo, I would want it to be super meaningful and well thought out. And then even with shaving my head, I just don't know if at that point we necessarily felt like the fast forward was necessary. But if, we're cutting things close to the wire, then yeah, I would do the tattoo and then I would get it removed immediately.
That's what I would do.
Man, if we had a shot at that fast forward this episode, I would have done anything. Shaved my head. I would have been both and gotten a tattoo and shaved my head. You could've put the tattoo-
Wait, if they told you guys to get like a face piercing, like an eyebrow piercing, would you do it?
I do it.
Just run the whole rest of the race with your eyebrow.
Hey,
Alex said, "How many piercings?"
we put tears and then we lose.
Okay, so with this fast forward, you guys said like you figured that someone else had claimed it, and you would be correct. Tucker and Eric did. When we got there, Tucker and Eric had run in not too far before us, and so we could have potentially gone in. And actually, I do think we would have done really well, but they didn't. They made it seem like you would have to
Figure it out yourself.
exactly. And Simone and I have never solved a Rubik's Cube before, but they actually laid out instructions, and so Simone and I would have just treated that like a dance.
I have no doubt.
Yeah, well-
Rubik's Cube. Probably like in like the fastest time ever.
I think we would have just treated it like choreography because they had steps laid out for them. And I do think we could have actually gotten it over Tucker and Eric. But we were like,
I really think
I think y'all could have beaten them.
I think we could have too. But again, like we don't know that there are instructions, and we're just thinking Eric is quite literally the smartest human being in the world. He's bionic. He's perfect at everything. Tucker is also just great at everything. Like they probably solve Rubik's cubes in their spare time because Simone, like on our train to Hungary, Simone and I were teaching aerobics classes and cheerleading classes because I used to be a cheerleader, and we were doing like jazzercise with everyone just to keep warm and just so we wouldn't like fall asleep and miss our connecting stop.
Show that. They need to show that.
I know.
No, they
didn't even show us at the connecting stop.
Yeah. No, Simone and I, like, we were always laughing and smiling when it wasn't during the race itself.
Yeah.
But then Eric and Tucker, they start doing scorpions, and we were like, oh, you guys used to be cheerleaders? And by the way, a scorpion is where you, like, pull your leg from the back, and then you straighten it all the way up. And they were like, no, we're just really flexible.
Yes.
And I was like, you guys are good at everything.
Yeah.
Literally everything. And we were telling them, like,
thing to be able to just do. Right?
Do.
I know. And then Eric can also do like a really, really high leg hold.
yeah, he was like, okay,
Yeah.
a bow and arrow. And we were like, how? Literally, how?
We need Eric to do this.
I know. Eric needs to take us a class.
But
do my podcast right now.
Yeah.
we
Unless Eric, are you?
But it was really fun because everyone got behind us and we were like, okay, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they were being such good sports.
Yeah.
And then we also stayed up all night with Jag, Jazz, Tucker, and Eric, and we were talking to them about Scandival and Vanderpump Rules. And Jag the entire time was like, so let's talk about this U-turn.
Yeah.
And Jazz was like, wait, Ariana from Love Island. And we were like, you watch Love Island? And he was like, no. And then Tucker, bless his heart, he was so cute about it. He was like, wait, yeah, and then Schwartz in the wedding. And we were like, no, Schwartz was a cover for Sandoval. And he was like, Schwartz was a cover for Sandoval. And he was asking us all these questions like, but what? And we just had such a grand old time.
Man,
I know y'all's train sounds like so much
Oh,
fun.
you guys would have had a hoot and a half.
We would have
with
had so
us.
much fun with you guys. Like, I remember us talking about it because we got such good vibes from you guys, and we were like, oh, we wish that Kat and Alex specifically were here because I really do think we would have just been laughing with you guys the entire time.
Yeah.
Y'all would have been
question.
at the end with us.
Perfect question for this then. So who would you have the thing with?
Oh yeah.
What team would you
Oh,
have?
from the Big Brother house? Right
No,
off the bat?
Yeah, from this game. If you
Yeah.
got to U-turn anyone from the entire cast, like let's just say, who would you have U-turned?
Probably, I mean, I can only speak for myself. I think we would have been looking at two teams. On one hand, Simone and I recognized that we were just consistently in the middle of the pack. And so I think we would have U-turned a team that was in the back of the pack to give ourselves even more insulation.
No. Not you guys, though. No, just kidding.
I do think that I think we would have potentially U-turned you guys or Jack and Chelsea.
I told you.
Yes.
No, but again, nothing personal.
Mhm.
It would have like
Stab in my heart.
No, you can't.
Only because like, okay, yeah, we U-turn them and then they use their express pass, so we flesh out the express pass, but we're not actually giving ourselves insulation.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, okay, wait. Also, it literally could have been like we're doing it like purely based on this past episode. Like it could have been anybody in those bottom two spots. So like if I don't know if like
I'll remember this for
Whoever
the
was in the
All-Star
bottom.
series.
No, but okay, can you guys really be upset with logic? We're just using logic here. And the only reason why we wouldn't have The only reason why we wouldn't have U-turned Rubina and Christine is just because only 6 all-female teams have won this show. And so I think Simone and I just kind of decided like it wouldn't be right for us to U-turn another all-female team when we already have it tough enough as it is. And so literally just by default, it would have been between you two. It could have been anyone in your position.
But
Yeah.
for this past episode specifically, sorry, Alex.
I'm sorry.
If you guys were an all-female team.
Yeah, no, Alex, if only your name was Alexa.
Yeah, put a wig on it. I will say that is
Yeah,
a smart game.
Yeah.
That is a smart game move. However, I take it personal.
Okay.
Rightfully so.
But no. But the initial question was, if we were playing Big Brother, who would you evict? And we would not be looking at you two as targets. But I think we could work together, especially being dancers. There's that connection there. And B, I almost feel like we would maybe fulfill a similar niche. And so I don't see a reason to get rid of you guys. Like I would be looking at people who are maybe stronger than all 4 of us when it comes to the more physical challenges. But I definitely do think that in a game like Big Brother, we would work with you. In The Amazing Race on episode 4 specifically, we're just not going to U-turn Taylor and Kyland because that's not going to do anything for us. And
Yeah,
we're not going to
already
target
ahead.
an all-female team.
All right, fair
That's
enough,
it.
fair enough.
That's it. That's
Thanks,
it.
guys.
But if we were closer to the front of the pack, we would not be looking at the back of the pack. If we were closer to the front of the pack, we would have probably U-turned a team like Tucker and Eric.
Oh, but they used their fast forward pass, so we wouldn't be able to. So whoever got second place.
No, but at least
Ooh.
you. I mean,
Well, I guess if the U-turn had been like before the fast forward, I think it would have probably
Oh,
been
yeah.
Tucker and Eric. But if it had been after the fast forward,
Then it would have been Jag and Jazz
But-
who got. No. Jag and Jazz didn't get second. I don't
no,
remember
they
who
got
second.
5th. They ended up getting 5th. Honestly,
Whoever got second.
we wouldn't have U-turned Joseph.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like everywhere. So I mean, that was
Yeah.
crazy, like to like just run around and finally to get back to seeing everyone. I'm sure everyone was
Yeah.
like spiraling at some point.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I don't know if we were closer to the front of the pack. I don't know who we would have U-turned, but anyone could get it at any time,
Yeah.
as Big D says. Okay, so you guys decide to forgo the fast forward, and then you get to horses, and you realize every team except like Nat and Steph and Izzy and Paige are still there. What is going through your minds?
I am pumped. I mean, I see everyone in line. I'm like, yo, like I'm just excited to see anyone at this point. Like because I mean, like I said, it's only been us in the back of the pack, so I'm just happy to see everyone. I mean, whether it's a competition or not, I'm just excited. So I'm just pumped. I'm like, okay, like the race is here. I got a shot. That's what I'm happy about. I have a shot, and we're all together, and I can talk to them. Like Simone, I got to talk to Simone. I got to talk to
Yes.
Chad. I got to talk to Izzy. I got to talk to Joseph. I talked to. Did I talk to? Who else did I talk to? Well, Kylan
Joseph?
got here.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
Joseph and yeah, and Peyton and Izzy, because I didn't get to see the other half because they were inside, but I at least got to talk to them and kind of like, yo, this is crazy, like we're back, baby. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes. And it was so nice because I think that they included it in the episode where like we all just ran up to like give you a hug too, and we were all so excited for you guys
yes.
No,
and to start getting to know you guys.
I saw.
You Turner.
I saw Hannah's.
No, listen, I did not say I didn't say I was excited to see you guys.
Well, okay, there was a part of me that was nervous as well because I was like, like the gap is closing, but again, on like a personal level,
Yes.
Yeah.
excited.
I-
But I was nervous.
We were battle proven already. We
Mhm.
survived legs in the back against other teams. So I'm just like, I have a shot to beat other teams. I know I can do it. I felt good. I was confident, and I was like, whatever happens, happens. But I have a shot. This is not where I'm at
Yes.
the end. 4 hours back now, and I have no shot. Like
Yeah.
I have a shot, and that's what I was just excited. My adrenaline was pumping. I was like, let's go.
Yeah.
I was like,
Okay,
they
so-
say, let's go.
How did you guys decide that Alex would do it? I know, Alex, you talked about soccer and coaching, but like, do either of you have experience riding horses being from Texas?
Well, actually, I have experience riding horses.
Okay.
But we didn't know that it was going to be horses. We thought that it might have.
No, it was a horse stable.
Well, I know. I actually didn't realize it was going to be horses because it said who wants to coach. So I was like, oh, sports. But
Yeah.
honestly, it all came down to was there any heights in the area, and if there wasn't heights, then Alex would do it, and if there was heights, then I would do it.
That was the
Or
strat.
if it also like seemed like like with us like the flowers, like that seems like something girly and fun. Like I'm just a girl, I'll go do the flowers. Turns out
Literally,
it's
our
horrible.
strategy was if it's groundwork, I'm doing it. Because I'm like, I can't do stuff in the air. I'm like, so in the
It's
ground, I'm
groundwork.
gonna try to do, and Kat can do the rest in the air.
There were a couple things that I should have done. Like I definitely should have done the hockey, but and then the horses. I mean, I have more experience with horses, but I've never been in a horse.
She's like, I should have just done all of them because
No.
I'm gonna do that.
No, I would not have done better on the beer filling. I wouldn't have done better on
You would
that.
have done better on plowing.
Oh no, I wouldn't. Well, yeah. I mean, no, we both plowed, but it was like But no, but the hockey, I definitely probably would have because Alex had to focus on how to skate and how to score a goal. I already know how to skate, so I would have just had to focus on scoring the goal. I don't know if I would have been, maybe it would have taken the same amount of time, but you never know. The horses. I think Alex actually did a really great job on the horses.
I did pretty good. I felt like I was.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you killed it.
Yeah.
I think we were probably pretty equal on that. I don't think that that's something that would have made a huge difference.
Yes, I would say that you, Kyland, and Natalie were in and out faster than most teams were. Because Natalie got it in 2 tries, Kyland got it in 2. I think you got it in like 5. Okay, but we also have to remember Kyland's job is being on the challenge. Like he does this for
He's
a
good
living.
at stuff like
He's
this.
he's good at challenges. He's good at adapting really quick, and I think that is something that Simone and I sort of learned throughout the race. Yes, prior experiences can help you out. For example, we're both dancers, so we knew we would be good at that challenge. But the Amazing Race is never going to give you anything that you can't pick up quickly. It's just a matter of like how well can you pay attention to the demonstration or the tutorial, and how good are you at adapting your strategy if something doesn't work. And that's something that we learned. So Alex, you were great at that because you ended up getting it pretty quickly, whereas a lot of teams were there like 12 tries later, still trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
So you guys finish at the horse stable, and then you get your clue. And Alex, you're thinking there are 3 teams in the back of us. Like we just made up time. Okay, so please talk to us about Houdini.
Oh my
We couldn't
gosh.
find a taxi to get to Houdini.
So
It took
that
us
was
over 30 minutes.
That
to
was
get
the
one.
hardest part. Was once we left. I mean, that street where the horses are, there's nothing there. So we get out. We're like, we got to find a major street, find some taxis. We run down the street, no taxis still. We're asking people like, hey, like, where's the main street? They're for directions. They tell us, hey, down that street to the right. We are running minimum for like probably a good 20 minutes around through the city, screaming, trying to stop taxis. Nothing's going on. And then also, which, I mean, this probably is my fault too, but like on the rules, on the directions, whenever I read the rules, it says you cannot use Ubers. So there's nothing but Uber taxis. So I'm trying to talk to production and be like, are we allowed to use these or not? Because I'm literally about to jump in front of one and get in one. And they're like, they're calling on the phone. They're calling production, like our sound and video guy, are on the phone calling. They're like, we don't know. Then they're calling and calling. They're like, we said yes, you're good to go. So then that's when I'm like, bam, stop right in front of one, get in. By the time, and we get to the bikini. This is 20 minutes later at least. We're going. I'm like, Kat's already freaking out because it did take forever to find a taxi to get one. By the time we get there, we go into Houdini and we realize Jack and Chelsea passed us and Ravine passed us. So
Oh, they passed you guys.
Yeah. We got there.
We were the last ones to go.
No,
it was us, yeah.
We got in a taxi, in their taxi when they got out.
Right.
Yeah, we like just crossed paths.
When we got there, we were like, we lost all of the lead we had because of these taxis. So we just got to try to make up time at this point again. So I was like, okay. So we did the Houdini quick. We popped out, and that's when we saw y'all, and we like switched taxis, got out. By the way, that taxi driver was so slow.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay.
The slowest taxi driver I think I've ever had.
How long did it take you guys to figure out that the clue was in the bottom?
Yeah.
Oh, right away.
Yeah, we were pretty quick with that.
You guys are good. With us, we were like tearing apart. Like, you guys know how there was that big like vase almost like made out of metal in like the middle of the stage? We started tearing that apart. We started like taking off the handles, taking off the inner frame of it, and we were like, where is this clue? Yes. And so that's why when they only showed us pulling out the like the card from under it, and we were like, oh, we're so stupid. That's because we had literally just torn up the stage apart, and we didn't even think to look in the box.
Yes.
Yeah,
Also, sorry, go ahead.
No, Kat.
Oh, let's figure that out quick.
Dang, so it really was the taxi that got you guys. Like the taxi there. Well, I mean, at least you were able to.
The dance quicker, or had we gotten to Houdini quick and then the dance, I think we would have probably had a better chance of staying in because we would have been. There probably wouldn't have been very many teams there.
The 10 minutes.
And when there was 4 teams there, including us, we were all in that small room. It was so loud, and then also our instructor was like waiting for other teams to finish practicing.
That was weird.
So then we could practice.
Our instructor literally would stop showing us because she's like, we're going to wait for the other team to finish their song. And I'm like, I don't have time for this.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, you have to teach me right now. I'm like, I don't care if they're playing a song. I'm like, play our song. I'm like, we don't have time. I was also like, this is kind of stressful.
I don't know if she realized that we were like in a really big hurry.
Yeah.
Because we really didn't, contrary to how the edit looks, it didn't really take us that long to learn the dance. Like
really
it didn't, and we did it as fast as we probably could have otherwise. But it was just we had gotten there late with the taxis. Our instructor was waiting for the other team to finish practicing, so then we could practice. And it just was, the wrong place at the wrong time.
But I will say, like, I walked through from the taxi. Got on the taxi. He's very slow. But I want to do juggling.
Yeah, we should have
I wanted to do juggling because I was like, I know the dancing. Well, first of all, going back to the stables. I just talked to Simone, and Simone's like, yeah, I do dancing. We do. I was like, yeah, in my head, I'm like, trying to beat another team that's really good at this, it's only going to lower our chances. So I was like, Kat, I think we should do juggling while we're on the taxi.
I just never thought that I would ever be able to juggle, and I didn't. I mean, but maybe I could have.
Yeah, we don't know, but Kat was like,
I
think we should just do dancing, and I was like, I told myself in my head from the beginning of the race before it started, if she was going to do dancing, I was just going to do it with her because she's good at it. So I'm good at memorizing.
Yeah, so I was like,
so
how hard
I
could
can
it be?
remember it as fast as I can, and then just help her out. During this, how close it was, maybe it wasn't the best choice to have done it, just because it's so close. And then after talking to Simone, when she's talking to me, she's like, yeah, I love cheerleading. I was like, oh man, this is about to be I really should have done it, but it is what it is.
But at the same time, like, you had no idea whether Chelsea and Jack went to juggling. And so I do think if we were in your position with Kat being a dancer herself, we would have probably done dancing as well and just hoped that, like, okay, maybe Hannah and Simone will really struggle at Houdini. Maybe they'll struggle finding a taxi. And we have no idea where Chelsea and Jack are. So it's anyone's game right now. But what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. I just kind of want to go back to the horse stables really quickly because for us to get there third, we were, and like Izzy and Paige got there right before us. They were still changing into their gear as we were pulling up. So we were like right there. Nat and Steph were still there. To go from third all the way to last place. Yeah. That was really... I don't want to say it,
gut-wrenching.
Yeah, it was a little crushing.
I totally know what you mean. Well, because that's how I felt like just when you have the lead and then you get pushed all the way to the back, you feel so like it just like takes the wind. It just takes the wind out of you, and you're like, man, like all of that for nothing, and you've been working so hard. So no, I totally get that.
Yes, and especially because like immediately after, like just discussing like, okay, like how could we or how could I have like fixed it or what could I have done differently, because again, like every team was getting it, and Hannah did mention like you didn't get defective horses or anything because everybody else was using the same horses and everybody was fixing it. And so what I was doing is I just like wasn't changing my strategy. I just kept on like trying it the exact same way and be like, hopefully I'll get lucky this time. And I know that they kind of showed it, but in hindsight, it was like so interesting that I would have even thought this, because I thought that kind of like with a car, if you really like press your foot down on a pedal and apply more pressure to the pedal, the car goes faster, versus if you're more lax with it, then obviously the car won't really move. So I thought that the more pressure you put on the horse, that was sort of like almost the pedal for them to go, when in actuality it's the complete opposite. So literally that one little change would have changed the course of that.
ASAP. We gotta get you on
I need to come to Texas. It literally is my bucket list to go to a Cowboys game. So literally, like whenever I do come,
we're going on Sunday.
Oh my gosh! Wait, you are? Wait, who are they playing?
The Washington Commanders.
Oh, wait, that's my team. Technically, I live in DC. Wait, you're so funny. You said the Washington Commanders. It's the DC Commanders.
Oh, I'm sorry. They change their name like every month.
Actually, wait, no, it might be the Washington Commanders.
Because I think they're
it's the W. No, you're so right.
It's all a part of our social game for Big Brother.
We're not threats. Yes. We're not threats. But I will say it was because like the idiom is loosen the reins. Like you loosen the reins when you want to go.
Yeah.
And then when people say like, oh yeah, I tightened the reins, that means like I was uptight. I didn't move anywhere. Like you don't want to let people progress. So I was like, okay, if we had just maybe like taken a minute and thought through that, then we would have probably gotten it. And I think from my perspective, because it is all about adapting. It's not a matter of luck. It's not a matter of someone just having all of this prior horse experience. It's a matter of like, okay, what is the teacher doing and what can I do differently from round to round? And I think it captured me saying like, this is crushing me, because I could see that she was applying the exact same strategy every time, and I was just looking for her to do something just a little different. But we were getting the same outcome every time. So that's why I was like, oh, I wish I could just like, You said what?
I'm proud of you, by the way, because I mean,
oh my gosh, you guys too.
Third. Like that's crazy. Like you struggled through it, and I could see in the line, like every time she'd come back, I could see her kind of like less smiling and more like feeling it. And that's why I was like, hey, you got it. Like, don't worry about it. I was telling everybody. I was like, at the end of the day, it is a race, but at the end of the day, we're all here struggling together. So y'all will eventually, y'all will get it too. And I was like, I feel like I'm about to get it. So I was like, y'all got it. I was like, don't worry, I got this.
You're like, sayonara, suckers.
My favorite Simone moment during the horse stables was every time someone would be like, go Simone, we'd hear a, thank you.
And something that I want to end on is like, despite just feeling so frustrated that I couldn't help her out, at the same time, like, we never saw your smile dim at all. She was so optimistic. She always said please and thank you. She was like, good job, horsies. Thank you so much, horsey. Like, it was so cute.
You were everybody was so supportive as well.
I know.
Like, seriously. Wow.
And also, I want to bring up this. I saw you post on Chat BCC, I believe it was, that Phil said that y'all were the fastest team, like in Amazing Race history, to learn and execute a dance.
Because we
remember that.
Because we learned it was on Twitter, but we learned the dance, or we learned, and we performed it twice, all within a span of 22 minutes. So Phil said we'll be back.
Hey, if I'm gonna lose to the fastest time.
So true.
But
man, we got to get you back in the Amazing Race.
No,
all four of us.
It was at in Hungary the next morning. We were at the hotel
when you were talking with
and
him
I was
the coffee.
Yes, and I was talking to Phil when we were in line for getting coffee, and he was like, I just want to say, like, you girls killed it. You bounced back so fast, and you guys blah 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 blah. So
yes, and also shout out to Phil, because he also
like what?
It's because we were all waiting to go to the airport for the next leg, and so we were waiting in line for coffee together.
Yes, and Phil is a dancer himself.
But what was I gonna? Okay, so we get to Houdini. We're struggling. We end up finding the card, and we see there's a dance option, and we were like, if there's any leg for us to bounce back from, it's this. Yeah. They were conspiring against you guys. No, but kind of going back to you guys at the dance challenge, I'm so sorry that the instructor was like making you guys wait for the other teams. That's really
I think that's also just kind of the beauty of the Amazing Race, because I've seen teams lose because their taxi driver was driving too slow, or teams lose because of like other outside components. Ooh. I think that it all kind of boils down to being in the right place at the right time sometimes.
Right.
And when we got there, we saw Izzy and Paige, and they were like, get the girl with the red necklace. She's great. And we're like, oh, perfect. We walk in there, every girl has a red necklace. That was just the cards that we were dealt, which it was super frustrating. But then also I can't not blame myself. Like, was I crumbling under pressure? Like, absolutely. But it was just an accumulation of everything. So, but
I think it stressed her out when it was just 4 teams and then there was no teams while we're practicing. But I'm also like, Kat, they're up there just redoing it. I'm like, we just got to learn it and then go up there quick and start doing the same thing. I think she got into her head a little bit. I'm almost like, you know, do I think we would have had a better shot if we just would have kept practicing? Probably. But at the end of the day, I mean, you have to release emotions. Like, you have to. Because if not, they'll stay in there, and then you still won't get it either way.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean,
And I will say this, too, though, how it looks. It looks like I'm just standing around and, like, not practicing. I was standing around. I already knew my part. Like, I was not just, like, standing there like an idiot. Because the instructor taught me first. I learned my part, I knew it, and we were working on getting Alex's part. So I wasn't just standing there like an idiot.
but then when we did it, she didn't practice.
One time! There's one time.
And I was like, you should have been practicing.
And of course, that's
Kat.
what they showed. And I was like, you know what? Whatever.
But
Kat.
Oh, sorry, yes.
No. Go ahead, Alex.
The beauty of the race. It's like, you're right. You have to adapt to things like the challenges.
Yeah.
But then there's things out of your control. Trains, the taxi drivers. There's stuff that sometimes you can't control that you just have to roll with the punches and then see where it goes.
Yeah.
That's the best part about the race. You never know what's going to happen. If somebody, you know, like gets a flat tire, like anything going on, you never know. So that's also the beauty of the race that I love. That's what I really loved about this leg. I'm competitive. I loved that it was actually competitive. That I saw people struggle.
It was a
I
good
saw
leg to
people
go out
scared
on.
to see us. I saw people like, you know what I mean? Like I saw people feel that competitive side in there, and I'm like, this is what I thrived in. This is what I do. And I'm like, this is the best part for me.
I would
Best.
have been super bummed had we gone out the legs previous because we would have left without introducing anyone.
Yeah.
It was just
No,
really
exactly.
fun.
That's so good.
This is a really fun leg to go out on.
Yeah.
This was a good equalizer leg. You said what?
It's never a good leg to go out on.
Well, yeah. But
Like what a thrill! Like
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
It was a thrill.
It was
That day
such a
was-
crazy day. We did so much, and it was a great time.
That was fun.
it was a good equalizer leg, and it sounds like you guys had so many moments where you were up, a few moments where you were down, but again, you could really see the love that you guys have for one another when you guys checked in to the mat. And Phil was even getting emotional. Phil was like, I'm so sorry to tell you that you guys have to leave, because it really has been a pleasure watching you.
Yeah.
And so we do have a round of rapid fire, and then just a
Yes.
couple more questions for our stars, for Team Texas.
Yes.
Team Texas.
And speaking of Team Texas, we have rapid fire with a twist.
Oh.
This time, the ball is in your court. No coincidence with Kat being a Mavs dancer. Sorry, I just like glitched there for a second. Okay, so picture this. We're in Dallas. We're at finale. How about you guys? Oh, no. After your turn. That's no, just kidding. Okay, so plan, what would your guys' leg in Dallas look like? Like if you were a part of production and you planned a race leg in Dallas, what spots would you go to? What are some like Texas staples that you guys would do in challenges?
We would go to Cowboy Stadium because I used to work at Cowboy Stadium, and it is so hard to get around the stadium.
It
You
is
have
so hard.
you have to literally like go down and like you have to like go down in a tunnel to go up in another place to get up to the next level. Like it's so confusing. I don't know what they were thinking when they made it, but it would be so perfect.
I will say,
Amazing Race leg in.
what I would do has already been done for the one they've done it.
Ooh.
So the
Wait,
one
what was it?
they actually went to the forward stockyards because it's super. There's longhorns. There's like all this stuff. Super Texas out there, which is about like 40 minutes from the actual downtown Dallas, but it's super cool. It shows that Texas side. Also, they came back. They did do the Cowboy Stadium, which was the old stadium.
No,
I
we
believe,
gotta
I believe it was the Texas. What was the old stadium called?
Texas.
Was it
Yeah,
AT&T?
AT&T's a new one.
Yeah, AT&T's the new
Oh,
one. But they
gotcha.
did the one before the one Jerry built now. So that one, and then they also did the reunion ball, which is this huge ball.
Yeah,
and
they had to change a light bulb.
And they had they
Right?
had to change. They had to rappel down, but while they're rappelling down, they had to see for a flag to see where the final was, the finale. You know, like the red and yellow flag.
Oh, dang.
They didn't know
Yeah.
they had to, so somebody had to go up there twice and actually start looking. They thought it was just like part of the challenge, but part of the challenge was looking for where the the final pit stop was going to be.
And I think it finished on Margaret Hunt Hill Bridge,
It did,
too.
which is beautiful too. But not hockey, that's for sure. But
We would not be doing hockey in Texas.
that would definitely like, those I think are really good like Dallas staples to kind of showcase like Dallas. That ball is like very unique to Dallas.
Yeah.
With Stockyards is completely unique too. It's a whole different area, and then also because of the Cowboys.
If you guys were to do a food-based challenge, like a cooking-based challenge, what would you have them cook? Would it be like some barbecue or like if there's another food? I don't know if that's like stereotypical.
I'm not much of a cook, but I can make a mean breakfast. So it'd be some eggs.
That would be the roadblock, is to make a mean breakfast.
For Kat.
I'm grilling.
Okay. Okay, but what would you guys...
For sure. We'd probably take them to
What would
Korea. It's a meat market here, actually by the Cowboy Stadium. They have the best meats. They have Wagyu steaks. We'd take them there.
Wait, what is what is your guys' partnership with? The steak. Oh wait, is that what you were just talking about now? Oh, nice. Huge shout out to them.
Yes, we love them.
Okay, any other...
That was so good. That was so
You guys
clever.
worked that in. I love it. Okay.
We actually
I'm gonna
really
put sponsored ad.
No, we actually really do like every night. So before we were getting ready for the race, we were trying to get in shape. So a lot of things that we did with, we were having to like lose weight because we didn't, I wasn't in the best shape of my life. So I was like, I gotta tighten up. I gotta tighten up.
She got toned up.
I gotta tighten up. I gotta get in good shape. So we were eating steak like every single night. So,
like protein.
Yeah,
I actually lost almost like 30 pounds before the race. To like,
Dang.
So it took me like a month and like a week.
A month?
Hmm?
Oh my gosh.
Men, I swear, men
I don't know if they didn't show
lose
this,
weight
but
so
I used
quickly.
to be a runner. I used to be in cross country and track and soccer. So I'm competitive. I was like one of the fastest runners in Texas. So
no way.
That's why I was like, I need to lose weight to get back in. I'm in the worst shape at this point in my life. So I was like, I need to get back to my running days. I was the pre-Tucker and Eric.
If they would have got us back when he was a cross country winner and I was a dancer, we would have won.
Oh my gosh. Wait, you guys
we're lucky.
You guys talk about or you guys sound like the parents of like the high schoolers in movies who are like back in our prime.
Oh yeah. Back in my day.
Oh my god, you guys are hilarious.
Yes, you guys are too funny. Okay, wait, I have like another like random question, since obviously, and for those of you watching, it's very, very evident to Kat and Alex, because I asked them so many darn questions about it, and they probably know what's coming, is that I am just so obsessed with like the NFL cheerleader world, and Miss Kat is obviously involved in the pro dance world. And as somebody who's auditioned for the Cowboys, I just have to know, was the audition process for that harder than either the training process for the race or the actual race itself? Because like watching Making the Team growing up, I knew that like it was no joke. Like they are in it to win it. And so I'm just so curious.
One of my Instagram followers, they actually messaged me that question. They said, out of all the shows I've been on, which is, Amazing Race, Big Brother, and DCC Making the Team, which was the hardest? So I kind of thought about it, and I truly think that DCC Making the Team was the hardest. It was
really.
Not only was it hard, but it was like that was like some of the best years of my life. It was so much fun being able to, you would go, because not only is it like the audition process, but the whole year you're going to the prep classes and you're going, you're like, it's kind of like you're doing like almost an audition like every week, because you're getting your little outfit on and you're going and learning a dance and you're performing the dance. And then of course, like the audition process, there's probably like 500 girls that show up to do the open call, and you're having to like stand out among everyone. Like it's literally like being in like the fact that I made it to training camp when I auditioned both times is crazy. Just thinking about like all the talented girls that showed up and put their heart and soul into it. And then when you make it to training camp and you're having to learn these dances every single night, even the most skilled dancers are having trouble with it because it's just so much choreography and you're having to retain so much information. I really do think that DCC making the team was the hardest.
That is
Really?
tea.
It was tough, but it was so much fun. If you're a cheerleader, if you're like an aspiring cheerleader, I highly recommend everyone go through the Dallas Cowboy cheerleader audition process because it was such like an empowering experience for me as well. It's so hard though.
No, it
Wow.
looks hard. So I was so curious.
I did not expect you to say that. I thought you were going to say, "Oh, the Amazing Race, hands down, is the hardest thing I've ever done." Wow.
I really think that DCC making the team was the hardest.
Wow. And between the Amazing Race,
our cheerleading in Texas.
That's true.
okay, that is so fair. That is so fair.
I will
But
say
what-
are like their wives, they're in the cheerleading squad for the Cowboys. I mean, they practice so much. It's actually ridiculous. I'm talking to them at like midnight. They're like, they just got here. I'm like, what?
And mind you,
the
the girls had to practice that day probably like 3 p.m. because they have to be early for the 5 p.m. practice. It's just those girls work so hard.
I don't doubt that for a second.
I need to see Reese and Will on Amazing Race.
Oh my gosh. See,
I will say, watch Eric Delorier walk in
and
to
he'll
make
be
it
the first male Dallas Cowboys cheerleader just because of how perfect
Oh my God.
he is at everything.
He's probably great at tumbling. He's probably like the fact that right off the bat we showed him how to do a scorpion and he was like, "Oh, like this," does it so casually.
Yes.
We were like,
I bet that he could probably show everybody how like the jump split is done. He could probably do the kick line and like whack his face each time.
Okay, we need to get him on here to do this stuff because this
Yes.
is crazy. I'm actually mind blown that he can do any of this because I'm not flexible at all. So, man, that is crazy.
no, and the thing is, if you were to ask Eric, like, "Oh, Eric, can you do a scorpion?" He'd be like, "What even is that?" Like, we literally just showed him, and he was like, "Oh, like this."
Yeah.
And then does a bow and arrow perfectly. "Oh, like this." And we were like, "How did you do that?" And he was like, "Oh, yeah, no, I'm just really flexible." And I was like, "So you're the smartest person on this cast. You're also like the most flexible person on this cast. You're training for the Boston Marathon." Like, anyway, Simone and I had our work cut out for us. We were like, everything Simone and I thought we would be, really strong at, Eric is just better and then some. So that's that. But my last questions for you guys are, what did you guys learn from this experience, either about yourselves or each other as a couple? And what is your favorite memory so we can really close it out on a really like happy note?
Well, ever since going on the race, we have gotten so good at just like tedious daily tasks because we tell ourselves that we're doing a roadblock.
Yeah, we're
and
like,
it
we can do this.
every time that we're faced with adversity, we pretend it's a roadblock and we get it done so much quicker and without like, sometimes because we're a couple, of course we're gonna like bicker here and there, but I feel like our like not, I mean, people saw it on the race, like, like it's nothing crazy, but like you do kind of get frustrated with one another every once in a while. I feel like that has gone down because we've already been through such hard things with the race that it's like, oh, if we just pretend this is a roadblock, we can get this in no time. I really do think it made us like stronger as a couple. Don't you agree?
No, 100%. And as far as like my favorite time, honestly, would probably have been all the stuff that was never shown, like being on the train, hanging out with everyone, talking. To me, that was the best part about everything. Getting to make friendships that we've never, with people we've never really met, or people just through struggling through, like, it's so much fun. And honestly, that was the best time because if we wouldn't have had any other people too, it would have made that leg and other stuff so much harder. So then getting after, going through all that with them, we're like, this is a good close friendship. And now even after meeting everyone afterwards, like how nice everyone is, I think that's the best part because it's more like a family than a friendship. And I love that because, I mean, I've never been on a show, obviously. I don't, Simone hasn't either, but I feel like it's actually a really close pass, and I love that. Because at the end of the day, it's a game. You play the game, you run the fast as you can. Whatever happens, happens. And that's what I love about this, that everyone feels like, yeah, it's a game, you're right. And that we can, be together, hang out. Being in LA for the premiere was like the best time of my life. Because I got to see and I got to like meet them, and like even Tucker and Eric, like that was the first time we met. Like, yo, we love you, bro. I'm like, even though we never hung out.
Scorpions
Yeah, we would have been doing sport. Heck,
Yeah. Well, you guys saw Tucker walking on his hands. See,
Yeah.
like they literally are like gymnasts.
Yeah,
Practically.
so that was the best part for me, making the friendships. But then after the game, after the show, is that it truly is like a family.
Yeah,
You know
I
what I
agree.
mean? Like I feel like close to y'all because everyone went through the same stuff and got to experience the race. And to me, that's such a bonding thing that no one will ever forget, because you can't buy this experience. You have to be chosen to do this, and we all were chosen to do this and experience it together. Had a blast. That's the best part.
Yes.
I agree with you guys. Completely agree.
Beautifully said.
It was such an honor, seriously, because like I'm a Big Brother super fan. Simone also watches the show. I was such a big fan of Kat's, and I remember when I got
Yes.
evicted from the house, I saw that I was going on her podcast, and I was like, wait, you know who I am.
Yes, and even like before Hannah applied to the show.
You said that in my podcast. You were like, "How do you know who I am?" And I was like, "Oh my god."
Yeah.
Like, be
Yes,
serious.
well, even before Hannah even like applied to Big Brother, when she was just like going back to like binge watch the show after she had like discovered it, I remember I would like come in like every now and then just to see like what was up on each season, because she would go through them literally like that, like in a matter of days. And so every time I would come in, it would practically be a new season. And I remember I was like, okay, so like who is everybody? And then you appeared on the screen, then she was like, oh, that's Kat. I love Kat. And so like again, even since before she applied for the show, she's been a fan.
Also, I have one more thing to say about y'all.
Yeah. Oh, what?
Obviously, Donnie was supposed to be on the show and it didn't end up working. I cannot. Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine.
I cannot picture them having picked anyone else other than
Yeah, I
y'all.
can't- y'all were
perfect
such a heart
people to have.
of
I can't even
season.
imagine this cast without y'all. And to me, that was like a meant to be thing,
Yeah.
and it was an honor to like run with y'all and like even meet y'all afterwards was even better, because I'm like, man, they're even better. Like,
No, same with you guys.
I was also gonna say, because I want to bring it back to Alex too.
Yes.
I think we were just so geeked to like be in the same room as Kat. Kat, I had never met you in person, so as a fan of yours, I was like, oh my god, I get to race with Kat. Like I get to race with Natalie. I get to race with Enzo. And we didn't see a whole lot of each other on the race, but I remember thinking, these guys are funny. They're good energy. And then we got to talk at finale. And I remember Alex being like, yeah, so I already took off for the Emmys next year.
Yes.
we're getting
Okay.
an
Also,
Emmy."
to people watching, guys, Alex is literally the funniest
Funniest
person
person.
ever.
Yeah.
I know.
Genuinely.
no, guys, I'm not even the funniest person in the cast. You got Enzo here.
No.
Enzo is. I
That's
could drink with Enzo. I want to drink with Enzo. I laughing probably.
But you guys brought just such great, amazing energy to the show. Again, it was an honor, and it was so humbling to get to race with you guys.
Yes.
And as you said, Alex, I look forward to kind of continuing to build our friendships and our relationships with one another. And this cast really does feel like a family. I'm
100%.
obsessed with each and every one of you
Yeah.
guys, and I'm so happy that Kat chose you as her partner.
I had no
Yes.
choice.
I had no
I had
choice.
no choice.
I also had no choice.
I didn't realize that people had choices.
I would have ran it with Kylan.
No, they called me specifically and said, like I didn't even think they wanted me. They were like, is Alex going to do the race? And like,
Oh my gosh. Okay, Alex said I would have run with Kylan.
Yes.
Kylan's just like the one extra that they have, and we're all like, okay, who's gonna get him?
Yeah.
Who's gonna get him? But thank you guys so much for joining us on the
Thank you so
Royalty.
much.
Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and catch us next week for our recap. We will let you guys know who the special guest is at a later time. But thank you again, Kat and Alex, and have the most amazing day.
Yes.
You too. Thank you
Bye,
guys so much for having us.
everybody.